Hello everybody and welcome back to American Truck Simulator, where in today's episode we are going to be continuing on our job that we started in the last episode. So let's get going. We made a loan payment over the night that I was sleeping, which is what we ended the last episode on. It was around $2,200, so fairly expensive, but honestly not horrible. And we don't really need gas right now, so we're actually gonna not fill up. But we do need to get going. So, let's do that. Here we go. We are going to switch to first person because that is how I prefer to drive. It makes it more fun for me. And I'm sorry if you don't like it, but this is my YouTube channel, my series. I'm going to do it how I like it. And if you do like it, then that's great. I love that for you, and I'm so glad that we agree. But anyway, we are going to get going on our journey. And we might cover, I don't know, maybe 65 miles today. I think I'm just going to cut the episode off whenever it hits 15 minutes, probably. Try not to make these too long, but also not incredibly short, so... You know, it's a balancing act, and I try to hit natural points, like at way stations or gas stations or needing to sleep, like in the last episode. So it's not just everything is so perfectly scheduled, but I don't have time to make all of these super long either, so I have to try to balance everything, and you know, sometimes it can be a little inconvenient, but I need to be able to have at least some degree of convenience for myself, so that's why, if you're wondering why the times are like they are, and sometimes I make them shorter because I'm giving myself a break, and you can call that shellfish, but not to sound B-I-T-C-H-Y-E. Actually, I guess the Y at the end represents the E sound. B-I-T-C-H-E. But, I mean, it's my YouTube channel and I can do what I want with it, so sometimes I'm going to do things that some viewers may not like, some people may agree, some people may be perfectly fine with it and have no opinion, but either way, I'm just going to do it how I would like to do it, and this is how I'd like to do it. You can bypass the nearby way station. Wonderful. I hate way stations. They're way annoying. Funny. Oh, need to stay in my lane. Sorry about that other truck. Definitely just almost hit you with the back of my trailer, but we aren't going to talk about that, and we are going to continue on our journey. So, let's keep going. It's my game show voice, you know. Hello everybody, and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. I'm not even sure if I did the full intro, or not my full intro or not. I usually do the hello everybody and welcome back, or welcome to if it's a new game. But sometimes I forget, and sometimes I do the outro a little different, but for the most part I'm pretty consistent with the intro and outro. Or at least I try to be. As much as possible. I do like this town. I've been here a bunch. I guess it's the Dalles is how you would say that, I think. Don't hold me to that, because I could be wrong, but as a guess. Oh. Someone just let the dog into my room. Now you're gonna hear whining or barking or her pawing up onto my chair or something and me getting onto her. But, or if you hear me yell, "Hey Ollie," or "Ollie, quit." That's her. I am actually going to do something real quick. Ollie, come here. Come here. Here. Oh, you're such a good girl. You're such a good girl. No, I don't. Stay up there. Go ahead. She likes digging her little den under the covers. She's a Chihuahua, and they get a bad rap, but she's not the she's what they call a deer-head Chihuahua, so she has the what I can only describe as a more normally proportioned body versus the, I guess what you would call like the stereotypical Mexican Chihuahua. They See in those movies that look like they're holding on for dear life and have like 4 teeth. For the record, she actually has very straight teeth, which is kind of funny. But yeah. We need to turn right, so we're just gonna follow this truck. By the way, that stereotypical type Chihuahua is called an Applehead Chihuahua. And also for the record, I am not the one that came up with the stereotypically Mexican Chihuahua thing. I have seen that online, so that is not my words. That is coming from the words of someone else. So, please don't cancel me. How close is that? Oh, well, he started driving away, so I can't really tell. I feel like everything ends up looking closer than it is just because of how long the front looks, but I guess it's not really that bad. I must say, I don't like really driving through this section of road because it's so windy and curvy. I'm always afraid I'm gonna crash off the edge, but let's try not to do that as hard as we possibly can. To be fair, we are going very slow. I guess this isn't actually the super windy part. The super windy part is a little bit further ahead, but this is the part that we're struggling to get up. This trailer isn't even like super heavy, it's just this truck is not super powerful, and even having a medium weight trailer is harder to pull, so but we finally made it up that hill, so we can start building up a little bit of speed at least. Finally, after all these years, speed. What a peaceful night that we're probably going to be driving in for a majority of the episode. Well, if the episode is 15 minutes long, then we've already been driving in the dark for the majority of this episode. But if it's exactly 15 minutes long, it'll still be the majority. Actually, never mind, because the rest of the episode is dark, plus part of the first 7.5 minutes being dark, and that's the majority, so I don't know what I was thinking. Probably something dumb, per usual. Trip distance, 1,060 miles, so that's how many miles we've traveled, and not how many miles we have left in the tank. Since I only have 1,000 miles on this thing. I mean. Oh, I was about to say let's slow down as I continue to speed up, but I'm actually going to stop pressing on the gas and just let momentum do the work, because we are going fast. Okay, well, I'll take control of it now. I thought those lights from those houses were an obstruction on the road, and I was like, this could not possibly, or there could not possibly be a worse place to have that. Go have your accident elsewhere. I don't want to damage my truck. I don't care about whatever damage I do to the vehicle that's already broken or the people there. But, yeah, can't really afford much more damage to the good old truck, so kind of try to avoid that as much as possible. I've had enough damage done to my skull playing this game, because I get so hot and flustered from things not going my way. I just can't handle it anymore. Just brain cells start melting away by the thousands. How many brain cells does the average human have? How many thousands can I afford to lose? Tell you what, I had a cousin that probably had no more than 3 of them. Let me tell you something. Now listen here, boy. Let me ask you something. You ever heard of Don? Ignore my horrible country accent. I talked about this in a different episode of, I think, probably some other game. But despite having lived in the South my entire life, accent still horrible. And despite, well, there aren't a ton of members of my family that have a real thick Southern accent, but sometimes I speak in a bit of a, I guess what you would call a Southern dialect with like y'all and just saying real instead of really. But I tend to be a bit more formal than most of my family with my speaking. My mom has a Southern accent. It's fairly thick. She has the real heavy Southern dialect with all the sounds and phrases. But yeah, I have several crazy uncles and cousins and whatnot, because they all live in Mississippi, and yeah, that's a pretty crazy place. If you haven't been there, don't go. Don't go. Don't go most places in the South. Georgia, which I will admit is where I live, actually isn't bad. It's like the most developed southern state besides Florida. And it's actually nice there. I mean, there's a lot of really nice scenery. If you go down south to South Georgia, that's where you start finding the hillbillies. But North Georgia, which is where I live, in the Atlanta metro area, and that place, the Blue Ridge Mountains, really pretty, nice people. Don't go to Atlanta though, not nice people. Suddenly not very nice at all. They will stab you. So just don't go there. But yeah, everywhere else is pretty nice actually. Except for like the cocaine capital of the world, or meth capital, or whatever it is, drug capital, whatever. There's like 3 towns that you shouldn't go to that are in the metro Atlanta area. But other than that, I know it sounds like I'm really trashing Atlanta, but there's some really nice parts of it, and there's several really nice parts of the Atlanta metro area, which is, there's a place that I live that is technically considered part of the Atlanta metro area, and it's actually really nice and very developed. I mean, everything's just a couple minutes away, nice people, low crime rate, great public amenities, playgrounds, hospitals, super close. I mean, everything you could want, and it's right there, and it's honestly great, and I love living here. It's perfect. And I don't mind saying I live in the Atlanta metro area, because even then there's still millions of people that live there, so I'm not worried about anybody tracking me down. Not that I think anybody would care about a YouTuber with 88 subscribers and where they live. Hey, maybe I'll have more by the time this comes out. I hope I do. Maybe 90. Almost to the first little milestone, 100 subscribers. Almost there. I mean, over 400 videos. By the time I get to 100, it'll probably be 500 videos that I have, but a lot of recording, and I do this very diligently, and I say very diligently, but I have taken 2 really long breaks. But sometimes I've had a busy family life, and yeah, I know it's probably sounds like that wouldn't be true coming from me, since I am obviously younger. But younger people can have, I'm not young, I promise I'm not a child, but even someone my age can have a fairly busy family life. But I hate how the mic makes my voice sound, because I always come out sounding like a 4-year-old, and everybody probably thinks I'm like 12. Just annoying, but oh well. At least by the time, hopefully, my YouTube channel will be going strong in a few years, then I'll have the man voice. Reminds me of one of my favorite YouTubers. I've talked about him before, Arthur Chapman. Chapman. He has a video where they go to a pumpkin patch or whatever, and he's talking to his son. He's like, "You have your man voice yet?" He's like, "No, it's getting there." I just thought that was funny. But hey, we're almost there. We've completed this trip in just 2 episodes. So isn't that something? And that went well. No fines, no damage to the truck. It's 2 very successful episodes. So I think I'm going to continue on this hopefully winning streak, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully well. Just 5 miles away, we are going to take a right. Is this the farm path? Oh, yep, it is. Bounce, 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 bounce. This reminds me of the road that led up to my great-grandfather's house, which it's been a while. It's not even there anymore. They bulldozed it a few years back, but except this is a lot nicer than the road to his house. But that was some very nostalgic moments. I mean, fortunately, you probably figured out from that last sentence, my great-grandfather's no longer with us, but I always loved going to his house, and the property he had was very nice, and so many really nice memories there, and I miss being able to go there and doing things with him and the games we would play and whatnot. But I mean, everybody has a time, and his came. I'm just glad I got to say goodbye, and it wasn't. I mean, I feel sad because he did suffer a bit before he did go, but not like incredible pain or anything, just knowing that it was probably just a matter of time. But all his family got to say goodbye to him, and he was prepared, so I'm glad he got that closure of being able to say bye to everybody and everything like that. But sorry to end it on such a depressing note, but with that, $6,400, 486 XP, so that's very, very nice. So thank you very, very much for watching, and if you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe. Bye!